Welcome, everyone. I'm Nancy O'Neill. I'm a practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living Tahoe-Truckee, and it's my joy to welcome you all here this morning in the rain. Anyway, which we are so grateful for. So, whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you're welcome here with us. And we know there are many paths to God, and we recognize that all these paths end in oneness and in love. We're grateful that each of you is with us this morning, whether you're here in the sanctuary or watching us on Zoom. So, our center's purpose is love. Our vision is expressing all and serving with love while awakening to the one. So, we set our intention today with a receptivity statement you'll see on the screen. If you'll read along with me, I'm here by divine appointment. Something I'm about to hear applies to my life. I am open, receptive, and willing to explore the possibilities. So this morning, our musician is Angelika Schafer, and she is on Zoom. And, I was just talking with Angelika before we got started this morning, and I knew she lived in Nevada City or near Nevada City, but she said 35 miles from Nevada City off the grid. But we know that Angelika makes her own instruments, writes her own songs. So she is perfect for us this morning. So we're just so grateful that she's here, and she's such a beautiful presence anyway. So welcome, Angelika.
Thank you so much. So I want to combine a couple of songs for this more meditative music. And one is by Rickie Byars, From Within. And then I go right into an ancient Sanskrit prayer that is Twameva. And it means, you are my mother, my father, my friend, my everything. And it's such a beautiful devotional prayer. It's all about every single form is love, is the love of source. From within, I let my heart begin to see eternity. Turn within, and now I can begin to see the face of God. Face of God is all I am. Face of God is all I see. Ever present all around me. It's within me. It's within. Ever present all around me. It's within me, it's within. Twameva mata, chapita, twameva. Twameva banduscha, saka, twameva. Twameva vidya, dravinam, twameva, twameva sarvam, mama deva deva. Twameva mata, chapita, twameva. Twameva banduscha, saka, twameva. Twameva vidya, dravinam, twameva. Twameva sarvam, mama deva deva. From within, I let my heart begin to see eternity. Turn within, and now I can begin to see the face of God. Face of God is all I am. Face of God is all I see. Twameva mata chapita Twameva. Twameva banduscha sakha. Twameva. Twameva vidya dravinam. Twameva. Twameva sarvam mama deva deva. Twameva sarvam mama deva deva.
Really. So today I am your practitioner of the day, as well as emceeing today in the absence of Pam. So I'm going to be reading this morning from a book of Creative Ideas, A Spiritual Compass for Personal Expression by Ernest Holmes. Love surrounds me. When we let the love that is within us go out to the God who is in all people and the divine presence that is in all things, then we are loving God with all our heart and with all our soul and mind. We are recognizing that the spirit within us is the same spirit that we meet in others. This is loving our neighbors as ourselves. When we recognize the divine presence everywhere, then we know that it responds to us and that there is a law of good, a law of love, forever giving of itself to us. This divine and perfect law is circulating through me right now. Its rhythm is in my heartbeat. Its perfection is manifest in every organ, action, and function of my physical body. Love and perfect life circulate through everything. This love and this life I accept as the truth about myself now and forever. The law of love heals and makes whole, makes me prosperous and happy. I know that the only power there is and the only presence there is love, the Spirit Almighty. There is no condemnation, no judgment, and no fear in me. I feel that I belong to the world in which I live. I love people and am loved of them. I feel secure in life. Thank you, Ernest. So if you'll just take a deep breath as I do an opening prayer this morning. Just take a deep breath and center yourself where you are, in your seat, in this place, and just allow all of the busyness outside of here to just go away for a little bit as we move inside into the stillness and into our service this morning. And so just in knowing that all is well here, It's all good. It's all God always. And it shows up as love. It shows up as beauty. It shows up as joy and peace and life. And so just in living this life and loving this life and being here now in this life, we know that what we are here as one in spirit just moves from our center to the outside world. And in that, it comes back to us because there is a law of attraction out there. And so we do feel the love and the joy and the peace that is always circulating. And so in knowing this, I know this service is just going to unfold absolutely perfect for all of those who are here today. And in deep gratitude for Laura being here this morning as our guest speaker, and for all of those who really serve in order for this service to move forward in love and in grace. And so in allowing that to be, I just let it be so, as we say together. And so it is. So today's theme is love. It's the CSL September theme. It's love out loud. So today, Reverend Laura, who is our guest speaker this morning, will be speaking on the topic, I love myself so much. I just think that is so cute. I love myself so much. So we're going to have a little bit of more music from Angelika before Laura speaks. Somewhere on that screen.
Yes. I'm here. So I want to start out with the song I Love Myself So Much by Rickie Byars. And I will seg right into a song that I wrote many years ago. And it's part English and part Sanskrit. And the English part is an exploration of love, what I used to think is love and what I know now. And the Sanskrit part is aham prema. And that means I am love. I am the divine love that I am seeking. So if you want to, you can sing with me on that part, aham prema. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. Sing along. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. One more time. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. If everything I think I am just comes and goes, how I thought life should be turned out to be false. Beyond the changing faces, what remains? Who am I? Who is asking? What does not change? Is it all simply love? Is it all love divine? Is it all simply love? Is it all love divine? In life's play, I'm simply a part of the flow, and love is unfolding as love only knows. I pray for the grace to see love's perfect play in all that arises as part of me. Is it all simply love? Is it all love divine. Aham prema, 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 aham prema. Om Parama Prema Rupaya Namaha. 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 Aham prema, aham prema, aham prema. Om.
These things in Sanskrit, even though we don't understand what those words mean, there's something that resonates within us. You can feel something different showing up, even in Sanskrit. So thank you, Angelika, with that angel voice that she has. So this morning, our guest speaker is Reverend Laura Arneson, who's here from Reno, Center for Spiritual Living, Reno. She's been a minister for 2 years. You know, I didn't mention that Angelika is also a minister. You can probably tell. But anyway, um, she's been a prayer practitioner since 2019. She facilitates Women's Spirit, a women's ministry, teaches classes, and speaks at our center, which we're so grateful for. Um, she is an elementary school teacher for 25 years. You know, teaching is such a calling, you know. It's an amazing thing to be with children, especially with your consciousness. Thank you for being a teacher for 25 years. She has a daughter that lives in Austin, Texas, with her wife and dog and kitties. She loves to hike, read, spend time with family and friends, and in service to our center, and going to rock cons or country western concerts, which was kind of rainy this week. Anyway, so let's welcome Reverend Laura.
Thank you. Yes, I went to see Kane Brown at the outdoor amphitheater on Friday, and it was a little wet. But it was still a lot of fun. So, and I forgot to put down there that I also love to travel. I traveled this summer, which was fabulous, and so that was really fun. I went to Croatia for 2 weeks. Yeah, it was really a lot of fun. So I want to begin with another reading from this book called Whatever Arises, Love That by Matt Kahn. And that's a beautiful thing to sing that song. I love myself so much, and yet sometimes we have a hard time always getting there and feeling that. So if you want to close your eyes while I read this, you can. When I'm sad, I deserve more love, not less. When I'm angry, I deserve more love, not less. When I'm frustrated, I deserve more love, not less. Whenever I'm hurt, heartbroken, ashamed, or feeling guilty, I deserve more love, not less. Even when I'm embarrassed by my actions, I deserve more love, not less. Equally so, when I'm proud of myself, I deserve more love, not less. No matter how I feel, I deserve more love, not less. Despite what I think, I deserve more love, not less. No matter the past that I've survived, I deserve more love, not less. No matter what remains up ahead, I deserve more love, not less. On my worst day, I deserve more love, not less. Even when life seems cruel and confusing, I deserve more love, not less. When no one is here to give me what I need, I deserve more love, not less. I'm remembering the greatest way I can serve the world. In remembering the greatest way I can serve the world, I deserve more love, not less. No matter what I'm able to accept, whomever I cannot forgive, or whatever I'm unable to love for whatever reason, I deserve more love, not less. So Matt Kahn believes that we are here to learn to love ourselves, and that we already are love. Right? We're created in the image and likeness of God. We believe in the individualization of spirit in us and in all people, and that spirit expresses through us, and that God is synonymous with love, therefore we are love. And yet sometimes life around us can often reflect to us and give us the impression that that's not true, that we're not enough, that we don't measure up. So Louise Hay, many of you remember Louise Hay, and I think she passed away, I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, at the ripe age of like 96 or something like that. She's amazing. But she wrote a lot of books about learning to love yourself. That was one of her main messages, was that we needed to love ourselves. And before science even realized and proved that there was a body-mind connection, spirit connection, she knew this. She knew that the experiences in our lives, the illnesses in our body, the dis-ease or negative experiences that could be traced back to our thinking and our beliefs, and that in order to heal that, loving ourselves was the way to do that. And so she knew that we are divine beings here for a purpose of learning to love ourselves, and we each are the only ones who can truly do that for ourselves. You know, of course we want others to love us, and we want to be in loving environments, and yet until we truly learn to love ourselves, we can't fully take in that love from others, and we can't fully give it out to others. And so from The Power is Within You, one of her books, she states, I believe that our minds are always connected to the one infinite mind, and therefore all knowledge and wisdom is available to us at any time. We are connected to the infinite mind, this universal power that created us, through that spark of light within, our higher self, or the power within. The universal power loves all of its creations. It is a power for good, and it directs everything in our lives. It doesn't know how to hate or lie or punish. It is pure love, freedom, understanding, and compassion. So it is by going within and connecting with this power within that we aligning with spirit, that we can more fully learn to love ourselves. And so all throughout the media, many of our institutions, the education system, the medical system, our governmental system, all sorts of different structures that we have in our lives. And the media is a big one, through the news, through social media, through Twitter and Facebook, and on. We have this message sent to us that there's lack, there's not enough, that we need to be afraid, that we need to pay attention to the appearances, and that's the truth. And yet, where all of that begins is from the inside of each of us. And when we recognize that loving ourselves is truly, there's another woman I'm going to reference later. I'm forgetting her name at this moment. Let's see, what is her name? Oh, Sonia Renee Taylor. She's the author of Your Body Is Not an Apology, and she has an online forum, big following. And, she talks about how it's actually an act of social justice and activism to love ourselves, because then we can love others. And that's the only way that truly our world can be healed, is through that activity of love. So it's not just about me, it's about all of us. So the messages that we tell ourselves really matter. And it's important to pay attention to how we feel, the emotions inside, the reactions in our body. And one of the ways that we can heal things, so those emotions and reactions and all of that stuff that comes up when we're feeling uncomfortable and somebody's triggered us, is from past experiences and beliefs that we hold in our cellular body. And oftentimes when we have these feelings, we want to shut them down, right? They're really uncomfortable. We want to get away from them. So we distract ourselves. We go over here and we eat a couple cookies, or if you're like me, maybe, a dozen cookies. But I was telling my mom when it was time, I had this wonderful summer, and then it's time to go back to work, and I start getting all these emails about, this new program and that new program. You got to go to this training, and you got, and I said, oh my gosh, it just makes me want to go eat a gallon of ice cream. Because all the stress and everything just kind of comes back. But we fall into our patterns, and, or maybe we get on social media, we get on our phone, or whatever they may be, are ways of distracting ourselves from those uncomfortable feelings. And there's many teachers that tell us that, Louise Hay including, and some even more current teachers like Byron Katie in her teachings of the work, and Nick and Jessica Ortner through their work with EFT, and Matt Kahn in his teachings of Whatever Arises, Love That if we can sit with those feelings and those emotions rather than trying to brush them aside, that's our path to healing. And because that part of us is an innocence, a unconscious part of us that doesn't know the truth. And so when it hears that we love it, that we're loved, just by, touching into wherever that is in our body, I love you, that just hearing that message and loving those parts of us can help those parts to heal and lessen. That actually emotions and feelings are like a wave, and if we can be with them, that eventually they will subside and flow away, and then we can get back into being present to what's before us. By allowing the feelings to simply be, we allow them to move through us and release. And then working also at loving that it's happened, and not judging that part of us that is, is getting angry, or is fearful, or is feeling impatient, or wanting things to be different. Just loving that part of us without judgment. And so then we're sending the message of love to ourselves. So Iyanla Vanzant, I know she's got a tricky name, says that nothing destroys self-worth, self-acceptance, and self-love faster than denying what you feel. Without feelings, you would not know where you are in life, nor would you know what areas you need to work on. Honor your feelings. Allow yourself to feel them. And Ernest Holmes said, through the power of love, we can let go of past history and begin again. Love heals, forgives, and makes whole. So I'm not quite sure exactly how we've been conditioned to believe that criticizing ourselves, judging ourselves, hating, shaming, punishing, those types of things can heal anything. Because that's what got us where we are in the first place, right? So it may cause us to shift our behavior for a short while, but it can't lead to true acceptance and transformation or lasting change. It just causes us to sort of shift, but then eventually we kind of come back because we haven't really changed anything within ourselves. So I was listening to some TED Talks on YouTube. I love to look for people who are talking and teaching about these types of things, not so much from a Center for Spiritual Living or in a book, but they're basically saying what we're saying here today. So I came across this young man. His name is Brandon Collinsworth, and he's a biracial man, white mom, black dad, and grew up in the projects of Las Vegas, absent father, and he and his sister and mom they spent their lives just trying to survive. And his mom gave him the clear message that, you're worthy. Don't let people dim your light, because the world will try to do that. And, it doesn't matter your race or where we live or who we are, you're worthy. And yet growing up in this part of Las Vegas, it was a strong pull. And he ended up dropping out of high school at the age of 16 and started using drugs and alcohol, became addicted, and was on the streets, living a street life. And so at his very lowest, he decided, he's like, okay, there's only two paths that I'm going down. I'm either going to die here on the street from addiction and, all the things that I'm in, or I'm going to end up in jail, in prison. So he decided that if those were his choices, he was going to do everything he could to prove to himself and to the world that he was worthy, that he had a right to be, that he had a right to take up space, to use his voice. And so he doesn't go into exactly how he did that, but he ended up going to college, obviously getting a GED, going to college, graduating from UNLV, and then going on to, I think he said, the University of Philadelphia for his master's in psychology. And he built this successful life over the period of about 14 years. And he says, one night I was looking out from my penthouse apartment in a high rise in Las Vegas. And he said, I realized on the inside I was still the same as I had been when I was on the street. I was still not feeling worthy. I didn't love myself. I was critical of myself. And I didn't feel any different, even though I had achieved all of this success. And I was receiving the accolades, and people were, seeking me out for my knowledge and my wisdom and what I could do to help them. And so he took a trip to Bali, I think he said, and he took some yoga class, and I was just a vacation. And the yoga teacher said, you've got your outer life all figured out, but you don't have a clue about your inner life. And so he went back home and dismantled his life, moved to Asia. Now, we all don't have to move to Asia to do this, but that's what he did. And he studied yoga, became a yoga teacher. And so that's now what he does. He's a yoga teacher, and he works with people through empowering them and lifting them up and supporting them as something kind of like a life coach in helping them to love themselves and recognize how worthy they are. So realizing again, just as Louise Hay and these other teachers have said, he came to that realization that before he could find true happiness on the outside, he had to have it on the inside. He had to create that on the inside. So sometimes loving ourselves, we kind of get the message that maybe it's self-indulgent, that we're being selfish, Even we have a fear of being narcissistic. There's a lot of that. And narcissism in itself, which has the characteristics, just a few of, I'm not going to go into a lot of it, but superiority over others. You actually believe that you're superior to others. You take advantage of others to get what they need, what you need. You're often very envious of what others have and try and go about getting what they have in order to feel enough. And you need constant praise and attention and need to be the center of attention. So all of those things are grounded in insecurity, are grounded in fear, are grounded in a lack of love. So that's not even close to loving ourselves. Kristen Neff says that I have found in my research that the biggest reason people aren't more self-compassionate is they are afraid they'll become self-indulgent. They believe self-criticism is what keeps them in line. Most people have gotten it wrong because our culture says being hard on yourself is the way to be. She is a teacher of compassion, self-compassion, Kristen Neff is. And so Margot Anand, another author, says loving yourself does not mean being self-absorbed or narcissistic or disregarding others. Rather, it means welcoming yourself as the most honored guest in your own heart, a guest worthy of respect, a lovable companion. And Louise Hay says the same thing, that self-love is about respecting yourself, about honoring yourself, about knowing your worth and having confidence in your ability to authentically express yourself. Because isn't that why we're all here? God did not put us here. Spirit did not incarnate through us for us to be a carbon copy of one another, to be just like one another. We're here to share our gifts and our talents and our light in the way that we see the world and our loving presence. And that's what we're here to do. So loving ourselves is really following that spiritual calling within. So how do we go about loving ourselves? How do we go about, if we're finding it difficult, or if we find it difficult to love ourselves, how do we do that? And one of the really important things, which is why we come here, is our spiritual practice. You know, grounding ourselves in spirit, reading spiritual teachings and Ernest Holmes and contemporary works of spiritual learning, listening to beautiful music like Angelika, and meditation and prayer, and taking classes here at the center, and just immersing ourselves and finding ways that our spiritual practice can inform us and support us and help us to release through grace those parts of us that don't know the truth. And so, and even, you know, practices of yoga and being in nature. I know this community loves being in nature. And, you know, of course, like Tahoe, what a more glorious place to be in nature than here and in the mountains. And so being in nature and just allowing ourselves to be immersed by the stillness and the silence and the beauty of Mother Nature. So one of the things that Louise Hay says also is to stop criticism. Stop criticism of yourself and others, or judgment, we could say. When you find that you scold or judge yourself harshly, you are sending the message to yourself or interpreting messages around you as there is something wrong with me. And oftentimes what we criticize in another is something that we have disowned within ourselves, because life is a mirror. And so when life mirrors back to us all the good things that we see in ourselves, and also the things that we have a discomfort in owning in ourselves. So often those of us that are super responsible, I don't know about you, but I have no problem. I'm laughing, leaning towards perfectionism, are very critical of ourselves when we don't measure up or to our perceived shoulds, right? We all have those shoulds that we should do. And perfectionism is like a moving target, right? It's different for everyone. And we need to acknowledge our fallibility as humans and even in our perfection as spiritual beings, and know that as humans, we're here as we're living this beautiful human life, and we make mistakes, and that's okay. That's how we learn a lot of times. So when we are, everything in our lives is a mirror, and if who we are, when something is happening out there is not comfortable, we have an opportunity to look inside and say, how am I contributing to this experience? What is it within me that believes I deserve this? And just sit with that and see what comes up for you. We need to speak kindly to ourselves, lovingly to ourselves, with praise to ourselves, and to tell ourselves that we love ourselves. So Louise Hay is very well known for her affirmations. She loved affirmations and really believed in the power of affirmations. And it's beyond that positivity of just being positive and, oh, everything's so good. But to really acknowledge that when we speak those words of positive affirmation and we're grounded in our truth, that we are spiritual beings, that we are here as the expression of God, and that God is moving through us and as us, then when we speak those affirmations, we know that we're speaking from a place of truth. So Matt Kahn, in his book, Whatever Arises, said, "The invitation love offers is never bound by any belief or limited by any role you happen to play. It is an invitation to merge back into the light of divinity by remembering those four words that call out to you. Whatever arises, love that. Every moment is created by the universe to ensure your highest growth. Each of us always deserves more love." Joel Osteen says, "When nobody celebrates you, learn to celebrate yourself. When nobody compliments you, then compliment yourself. It's not up to other people to keep you encouraged. It's up to you. Encouragement should come from the inside." I have a friend who, if I'm talking as she's a fellow prayer practitioner, and she'll say, "Well, what is it that you're wanting people to give you? What are you?" Because, even as a minister and a prayer practitioner, I get, I want that from somebody. They didn't give me that. And so we'll talk about, well, what is it I really want? And then how can I give that to myself? It's like we're parenting ourselves. We have to give to ourselves what we perceive is missing. And the great wise Beyonce says, "It's really about changing the conversation. It's not about perfection. It's about purpose. We have to care about our bodies and what we put into them. Women have to take the time to focus on our mental health, take time for self, for the spiritual, without feeling guilty or selfish. The world will see you the way you see you and treat you the way you treat yourself." And from Sonia Renee Taylor, from Your Body is Not an Apology. "By embracing our bodies and our authentic selves, we free ourselves to act with empathy and understanding towards ourselves and others. This is an act of social justice," she goes on to say. "From the novice scholar to the lifelong questioner to the ancient sage, one truth calls out. What is true for the individual must also be true for the collective. When individuals embrace the concept of radical self-love, the communities in which they live, become transformed." And the Buddha, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." And so let's take this into prayer. And so I recognize that infinite one life of God, that one divine power and presence, that knows how to be everywhere present at every point of life, in every moment, at all times. And I know that God is love. I know that God is creativity and wholeness. And God is divine perfection. And as I know this truth of spirit, of the divine, knowing that I am one with God, that I am an individualized expression of this one, that I am the beloved of the beloved, I know that whatever is true of God is true of me. And because I know that there is not just me, that we are all connected, that we are all one with the one, I know this truth for each person in this room. I know this truth for each person online. I know this truth for each and every person on this planet, regardless of where they live, regardless of the color of their skin, their sexual preferences or identities, regardless of what work they do or how much money they make, that absolutely every single person on this planet is a divine expression of the one. They may call it by different names. They may have a different path. And it is all the path of love. And so as I stand in this truth, I know that unconditional love is ever present in my life and the lives of all. That we are loved in spirit absolutely unconditionally, without measure, without limitation, without boundaries. That it is expansive and free and full and rich and deep, alive and present in every single moment and breath of life. And so I speak my word for each and every person, just knowing and claiming for myself and for each one that love is the foundation upon which we stand on. That as we turn within and center into our truth, into the truth of knowing who we are, that love overflows from inside, that we are opened up from a new perspective, a sense of healing, a sense of divine knowing, that all is well within our being, within the beautiful creation that we each are. And that we go forward in our relationships, within taking care of our body and the expression of our work and in our families, and whatever else other ways that we contribute to life and enjoy life, that it is done from a place of love, from a place of saying, I love you. You are a beautiful expression of the divine. I love you. And you are worthy. You are beautiful. And you have the right to be right now, right here, in this very moment and every moment. And so I am so grateful for knowing that I am surrounded and that each of us is surrounded in this eternal presence of love, that everywhere I go, God is, that my path is prepared and laid ready before me, and that I always know what to do at the right and perfect time in the right and perfect way. And as I speak in the first person, I know this for everyone. And so it is with great, great gratitude for the beautiful, loving, magnificent expression of spirit through myself, through all, through perfectly manifested prayer, and this beautiful life we live, that I just say thank you. And I release my word into the law, knowing that it always says yes, and that it is done. And so it is.
I want to share with you the song Come As You Are by David Crowder, and it speaks for itself. Come out of sadness from wherever you've been. Come broken hearted, let rescue begin. Come find your mercy, beloved, come here. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. So lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your face. O wanderer, come home. You're not too far. So lay down your hurt, lay down your heart. Come as you are. Come as you are. There's hope for the hopeless and all those who've strayed. Come sit at the table, come taste the grace. There is rest for the weary, rest that endures. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't cure. So lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your face. Oh wanderer, come home. You're not too far. So lay down your hurt, lay down your heart. Come as you are. Come as you are. Fall in love's arms. Come as you are. There's joy for the morning, beloved, be still. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura, for that beautiful talk. You know, I just wanted to remind you, I felt like as you were speaking, there's so much to take in, really. Um, we do record these, and you can go back and watch this again on our YouTube channel. So that's something that I'm going to do because that was just such a beautiful talk. And I love that, what the mat thing, whatever arises, love that. It's just so perfect. So this is our time for our prosperity time. And at CSL Tahoe-Truckee, we know that God is our infinite source for our sender and for each of us as individuals. So if you're inspired by today's gathering, please consider sharing your abundance with our spiritual community. So donations of your time, talent, and treasure support our vision of embracing all and serving with love while awakening to the one. There are lots of ways to give here: cash, checks, Venmo. We have it all. PayPal, debit card. uh, so if you'll just join me and put your offering over your heart with this, with our affirmation. In everything I give thanks. I gratefully and joyfully share my offering, which flows from God, my infinite source. My gift blesses the center and all who are guided, healed, and empowered by its activities.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. Love gives me everything I need.
So just bring gratitude this morning for all that's been given. good. Um, I'm just really grateful for all that this donations today give to our center that reach out into our community for the good and the love that is always available. And so, in great gratitude, I let that be as we say together. And so it is. So I'd like to welcome our guest. We might have one. Anyway, uh, just welcome our who are visiting today. If you're a first-time visitor, I especially want to thank you for sharing your time with us. And we have a guest book, and we also have a welcome packet. And you can fill out a welcome card or sign up on our website, which is tahoecsl.org. I'd like to thank this morning Reverend Laura for being here. Thank you with her mother. Thank both of you coming from Reno to be with us this morning. And our Zoom host is Diana Mess. I can never pronounce your last name, Diana. Message. Is that right? Our musician, Angelika Schafer, and hospitality is Penny Schafer. Penny Scholler, sorry, two S's. So we have hospitality afterwards, right through there. So it would be great. We have some food to share and to just get to have time to get to know each other and be with each other. So next Sunday, Reverend Pam will be here, and she'll be speaking on love on a spectrum. And the practitioner will be her husband, Michael Brandman. And our musician is Callie Hansen, another one from Reno. Boy. So also next Sunday, which is the 10th, I'm not sure where we are up there on Zoom, we'll be handing out, it's going to be our certificate Sunday, and we'll be handing out certificates to those who have completed CSL certified classes during the past year. You can find information about our center and our activities on our website, tahoecsl.org. And the video recordings, I mentioned that already, can be found on our website and our YouTube channel. So we have a weekly e-bike group. Here we are. This Tuesday, and it's going to be a beautiful day. Maybe a little cooler, but it's going to be a beautiful day. And this Tuesday is North Star to Martis Lake. So we're going to have a picnic lunch at Martis Lake. So we're going to meet at the North Star parking lot at 9 a.m. It's a little earlier this time. We always think that we're going to change it to 10. So we always think at this time it's going to be too hot. And we have to go earlier. But it's a different year, isn't it? And then the following weekend is the retreat with Dr. Lloyd Cooper for practitioners and ministers, the Mountaintop Retreat, which takes place here in Tahoe, which we're so grateful for. And he will be our guest speaker, and that will be September 17th. He comes here from Cape Cod, and he's a mystic. What else can you say? Anyway, and then we'll be doing lunch afterwards at Garwood's. And his topic will be, it's all in the daily practice. I think we've heard that before. But you can't hear it enough, right? Also, the Red Tent is going to be the monthly Women's Circle. It's a new moon ritual. Will be in Kings Beach this September 13th. Boy, it's hard to believe that August is already gone, and we're talking about the middle of September already. Anyway, keeps going too fast. And then we have Adopt a Highway coming up, and that's a change. We usually meet on the third Saturday of the month, but because of the Mountaintop Retreat, we're going to do it on September 23rd at 9 o'clock. And we meet at Commonwealth Drive, and you can talk with me if you'd like to come help clean Highway 267. It's a great thing that we do for our community. It really is. And we've been doing it for 18 years. So, and we were surprised last August, the August cleanup, that, wow, it was trashy. So, yeah, we could always use help on the highway. Um, and there's some classes coming up. Fall class will be beginning October 10th, and that is going to be called uh, Infinite You as the Universe. And it's going to be held on Tuesdays here in the center from 6 to 9, or you can also attend on Zoom. And the cost is $195, and there's always payment plans and scholarships. And there are sign up sheets right outside the door here. So please sign up if you'd like to take this class. Um, I'm missing my stuff. Yeah, you should just look up there. I don't know where the rest of it went. Where's number 5? Pam is so good at putting all this stuff out, and then I've lost it. Okay. My cheat sheets here. So there are also drop-in classes on Zoom. This is all found in our newsletter, and if you're new and you'd like to sign up for our newsletter, there's a place where you can sign up right over there. So we have Tai Chi on Thursdays with Chris Worcester, and then Mary's Ananda type meditation is online on Thursdays. And Sue Pipel, of course, leads Course of Love book study on Friday nights at 6:30. All that is on Zoom. So this is our time to welcome and bless our children. So we bless children everywhere, really, um, by saying, we see you, we hear you, we love you, you are our gift from God. So there's lots going on to support you as far as practitioners go. So I myself am a practitioner, and let's see, that's it. And Carol is on Zoom. She's a practitioner. Laura's here too. You know, if there is something on your heart that you really would like some prayer work done about, please, you can come to me after the service, and I'll be loved to pray with you. We call it a Miracle Minute. So if you'd like to schedule a longer session, you can call the office, and we have Michael Brandman, Brenda Hildorn, myself, and Reverend Pam are all practitioners, and Carol, who is available on the phone. That she lives in Sacramento. um, so anyway, if you would like prayer, we have a prayer box right over here that you can write down a prayer, and someone will respond to you in the next few days after that. So we can just do our closing song, which is Rise Up in Spirit. And let's see, it says, this is for the people who are on Zoom. Anyway, Rise Up in Spirit, written, performed by Melissa Phillippe and from her Heal It album.
We just sing the chorus, I think.
We do. Or we can sing all of it.
We're done.
It worked.
Not gonna cave into this pain in my heart. Not gonna listen to lies of self-hatred. Not gonna cry over yesterday's loss. Slip know it gets better with each moment I'm in. I win. I'm gonna rise up with spirit. I'm gonna rise up, remembering who I am. I'll rise up with spirit. Now I surrender. I'm not gonna fear it. I'm gonna rise up with spirit.
And our affirmation is out loud. And so it is. Please join us for hospitality.